Dave's LSC chats. Hit the like, hit the share. You know what to do, guys. Let's go. We're gonna have a nice little chat here. Just a little chat, little Sunday afternoon chat about the transfer window closing. 11 o'clock Sunday on Thursday. I think it's 1st of September, 11 o'clock at night. Liverpool look like they're in for a midfielder. A lot of talk in the last 24 hours, especially about midfielders. In the thumbnail, you can see the likes of Barella, Jude Bellingham, Conrad Lemire, Ruben Neves, these type players. Look, I don't know. It's all speculation. We know players that suit the club, the profile. We know players that Liverpool would want. We know all that. We know what the style is and what FSG policy is and stuff like that. But we shall see. I mean, as I say, nobody really knows. I think there was an interview just after the Wolves game at 1-1. Rubenneves scored an absolute ripper for Wolves, and he said something interesting or something about let's see what happens. But I mean, could you see Wolves? Get rid of Rubenneves. They're in a danger. They haven't won a game. Get rid of one of their best players. Right when the window closes. I don't know. I just can't see it. Good evening, Seamus Moore. How are you, my friend? Hopefully you are well. Hit the like, guys. Hit the share. Let's get a few people in here. As I say, I'm just going to have a little 10-15 minute chat about possible incomings for Liverpool, as I say. A lot of chat in the 24 hours about the RB Leipzig midfielder. I really do like him. Conrad Lemar, 25-year-old Austrian international for RB Leipzig. Ex-Salzburg as well. We've a good link between Salzburg and Leipzig, don't we? I mean, it wouldn't cost big money. He's a year left on his contract. So that one for me is the most likely. I would think it's a real FSG policy. The age profile, it's a real profile pick for FSG, I think. As I say, it'll be probably only about 20 odd million. The wages wouldn't be huge. He's an international. He's the right age. He's got the right press. He's tidy on the ball. He can score. He can create goals, assist and stuff like that. So he's got absolutely everything going for him. Who would you like, guys, in the window this side of Thursday? Obviously we all like Jude Bellingham and all that, but I can't see Liverpool paying 100 million plus for Jude Bellingham. I just cannot see it, but you never know. I mean, John W. Henry was at the match yesterday, the 9-0 drubbing of Bournemouth. I mean, that was just unbelievable. What a win yesterday, and what a boost for the boys with a big game against Newcastle on Wednesday night. But today's little chat is about transfers and who's going to come in. Let me know in the comments who you'd like in, who you think's going to come in, and it might be none of the above. Barella's being talked about, the Italian international. I can't see that one either. It's just the money. The money, I just can't see it. There's a few other ones. Ruben Neves is really interesting. Conrad Lemar, really interesting. The Barella, Jude Bellingham ones, I just cannot see. We would love to see, but I just cannot see. But you never know. You just never know. The Lemar guy has been mentioned a lot, says Seamus. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's tidy, and it's just the way FSG, work. They do like a mid-20s. They do like a guy who's plenty of experience, but has the potential to grow as well, and has the potential to get better. This guy just has everything, but has the potential to get better, especially with a club like Liverpool. I was thinking today, maybe, what about a swap deal with Naby? I mean, Naby, to go back to his Leipzig game, it just hasn't worked out for Naby Keita. He's only a year left too, whereas Lamar only has a year left in his contract. Maybe they can do something there. I know Naby's injured. Well, they say he's injured at the moment, but maybe something like that could be worked out, a swap deal or something like that. I'm just, surmising. I don't know. We shall see. Frankie De Jong, of course, has been touted. The Barcelona player has been a long admirer, of course, of Man United. Whether that one goes, the money, the wages, I think is huge for him. I think it's 400 grand, 350, 400 grand a week. I can't see Liverpool paying that, considering all the hassle we had paying Mo Salah 350 a week. I just cannot see that one. The only way you could see a Frankie De Jong going to Liverpool would be something like a loan for the year with an option to buy next year. Maybe Barca pay half his wages, Liverpool pay half his wages, which works out about 180 a week, something like that maybe. Whereas a straight buy, I cannot see it. As I say, the wages are too high. So you have to put all the whole package together. You have to look at the age profile. You have to look at his injury record. You have to look at, is he an international? Is he experienced? Is he ready to come straight into the team? This type of thing. Obviously wages and the whole package deal and price and stuff come into it. That's why the likes of Conrad Lemar for me is the most outstanding candidate so far. But dreaming Barella De Jong, says Crick D. Realistically, Casado, I haven't mentioned him. Tillemans, or that Danish lad, I think you're talking about Sanderberg. I think he's Norwegian, Sanderberg. We're interested, will probably be signed, be probably a player for around 40 million. But Crick D, what do you think about, as I just said, Conrad Lemar, 25 years old, year left in his contract, proper midfielder. Just check him out on YouTube. Some of the stuff he's done is unbelievable. Bayern Munich were looking to sign him. Really were looking to sign him. It was hot to sign for Bayern Munich in June or July, and I don't know what happened there, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. No matter what happens, it's going to be an interesting 2 or 3 days, isn't it? It's going to be an interesting 2 or 3 days. Dave, how much would Bellingham be on? Says Gary Richards. Jeez, he's going to be on ridiculous money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he's on at Dortmund. I'm sure he's on a decent wage. He only signed. Didn't he sign a contract extension only last year? I mean, he's probably on 150 a week, maybe 160, but he'd be looking to double that going to Liverpool. But it's the transfer fee as well. They look for about 120. They'd have any team that want to, sell to Liverpool now would have Liverpool over a barrel. Think about it. We need a player in. Everybody knows we're looking for a midfielder. So it's Liverpool on the phone. We're looking for a midfielder. How much is he really worth? He's worth about 20, well, say 40 to Liverpool because we know they want them. You know, the type of thing. You have to tax the Premier League tax because all the money's in the Premier League and stuff like that. So we got to be careful. FSG, we know they will be careful. Julian Ward will be careful. But I'm confident enough someone will come in now before Thursday. I'm hoping someone does. It'd be nice. That Lamar guy, Conrad Lamar, looks really good. We'd all like Rubenneves. We'd all like Frankie de Jongs. We'd all like even Casado off Brighton. It seems to have gone cold, that one, hasn't it? It's really gone cold. But look, I don't know. Nothing might happen. They might turn around on Thursday and say, listen, we tried. It didn't work out. There's players coming back. If they do that, the TikTok boys, FSG outers, will not be happy, will they? Doug from Doug Out Football Channel is in. How are you, Doug? Hopefully you are well, my friend. Hopefully you are good. Dave, how much would Bellingham... Well, I just said that one earlier. Glasgow Reds chat, Johnny boy, big up Dave, hope you're well, my friend. One of your hashtags says Nevers, Nezers. That's because it's Nezers going to happen, my friend. I'll check that one out. But use that to pay for De Jong. Liverpool can only blame themselves, says Gary Richards. Look, as I said, look, nobody knows. Nobody can tell me right now they know who's coming in. All we can say is who would suit to come in and who we think they're looking at. We know they're looking at probably all of them. They look at everything. They look at all the profiles. It's like an equation with Liverpool and FSG. We all know the way they go on. They'll be looking for the proper deal, the right player, the right deal for the club and stuff like that. They're not just going to sign a stopgap. I don't think they rarely do it. Look what happened with Kabak and Davies. Look what happened with them, Although Davies' tunnel or little cage that we used to have is free now, so maybe they will. But I can't say it. I think we need a player that can come in young enough, that can give him 5 or 6 years and be ready to rock. I think he'd be part of our operation midfield. I've been being forced into it now with injuries and emergencies and stuff like that. So it's not ideally the way. I'm sure FSG and Klopp want to work. They'd rather everybody fit, the likes of Jones, Naby, Thiago, all these guys fit and ready to rock. But things happen in football. It's a condensed season. We've a World Cup coming up. It's going to be a crazy season. I mean, it's going to be weird. We're going to need all the players on board. And the likes of Naby, the likes of even Thiago, Kanate, Matip, Jones. Jones, up until recently, are injury prone. So even when they come back, the odds are they'll probably be injured again. Matip as well. I mean, I know they're centre half, but in the midfield, Oxlade-Chamberlain, I mean, poor guy has been absolutely cursed with injuries. So look, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, though. It really is going to be an interesting 4 days, isn't it? I would think that there is a lot of midfielders scouted already, just a case of which one fits the club's Seamus more. That's exactly what I mean. Liverpool will have a big portfolio of maybe 6 or 7 players and that fit the bill and, are available and stuff like that, and say, right, make a few phone calls type of thing, It's not easy, though. 4 days. If you're going in for a player that's decent, a starter in a team, and you're saying, right, we want them. He wants to go to Liverpool. You've upset that player. But they've got to get someone in then. They've got to bring someone in. You know what I mean? So be looking at the likes of Leipzig, maybe Brighton, the likes of teams that we're interested in. Are they bringing in or interested in any midfielders in the next day or two? And maybe, trying to fill that gap that Liverpool will probably solve. But, I don't know. I don't know. It's going to be good. It's going to be weird. Celtic won 9-0 today. That's some odds on that, isn't it? Liverpool to win 9-0 yesterday. Celtic to win 9-0 today. That is just, wow, unbelievable stuff. Has to be huge odds on that one. But back to the transfer, guys. Who would you like to come in? Other than Bellingham, I just can't see the Bellingham one. I think it's pie in the sky. 4 days in the window. They would have got him in early if we really wanted him. I think FSG thought that we had enough. We had 8 or 9 midfielders thinking, okay, we'll be okay. I know our age profile is going up and there's players that are a little bit over the hill. The likes of Milner, I mean, starting games, what is he, 36, 37. You've not Hendo, Thiago, Fab not getting any younger. So they're probably saying, right, Operation Midfield from January window and following window. Bringing someone in January, bringing someone big name like a Jude Bellingham next year. Everyone's staying fit. But unfortunately for Liverpool, they didn't stay fit, and then we're being forced into the market. So that's the thing for me. I like Rubenneves, but I think Wolves would ask for a huge fee. Absolutely, see his goal today. Yes, I think the Neves one. I really do think it'd be more of a Conrad Lamar from Leipzig type signing. I really do, because he's only a year left on his contract. I mean, 20, 25 million. I don't think the wages would be astronomical. And he has everything. He's the age profile. He's absolutely everything. Scores goals, makes goals. He's tidy. He can press. You know, we do like Leipzig players usually. We do like German players. You know, the German language, obviously, with Klopp and stuff like that. So Klopp would have his own little mates on the phone, you know, going, oh, this guy's good, this guy. I mean, if Bayern were looking for him for the past year, I mean, he must be half decent. You know, I don't know a huge amount about him. I watched a few videos on him and did a little profile on him, but he does look decent. Naby will be part of that deal, says Crick. That's what I was thinking, Crick D. I was thinking maybe Naby, a year left on his contract. Lamir, a year left on his contract. A little swap deal, sweetener there. Naby back to his beloved Red Bull Salzburg, or Leipzig. Back to Leipzig for Naby, and you know, more or less a straight swap. Okay, maybe Naby's worth more money, but I mean, at this stage, if you can get a player that can, you know, he's rarely injured, he's 25, he's full of energy, ready to roll, I'd do the swap deal. What would you do? I would do the swap deal. I absolutely would. Agreed, John. Liverpool should have done this before the season started. But that's what I'm just explaining to you. I think Liverpool thought they had enough. When 8 or 9 players in pre-season, they had enough to get them through. I really do think. And probably when everyone's fit, they probably are okay. And then they're saying, right, we've got Nunes up front, we've got Diaz, it's midfield next, and we go for midfield from January or next summer and go big with 1 or 2 big players coming in. But now they're being forced into this one, you know, and it's not ideal. It isn't ideal. Mistakes can be made when you're forced. When you force issues, mistakes are made. You know what I mean? So for me, Liverpool's got to be careful. You know, the fee comes into it. But I just think a swap type thing. Okay, then you're getting rid of a midfielder. You're getting rid of a Naby to bring another one, and you're not actually bringing your quota up. But in a way you are, because Naby's never available. He was available a bit last year, but it just cannot be confident Naby Keita, even when he's back fit, will stay fit. Even this side of the World Cup. It's just not, you cannot be confident. You know, he hasn't had the numbers on the pitch. He just hasn't had the numbers on. It's unfortunate, because I like Naby, but I'm just watching. You know, just trying to see what way things would be done. FSG have a knack of dragging deals out over the window, says Crick D. Kane has missed a penalty. Damn, I have him on my fantasy football team. He's got one already. He's missed a penalty. Naby and Ox have to go, Dave. Well, maybe this is what I'm saying. Maybe this would be the perfect opportunity to do a little swap with RB Leipzig. Naby back to his favourite team where he made his name, and bring this new young lad, Conrad Lamir, up to Liverpool. Maybe. I don't know, because there wouldn't be a huge amount of money involved then, you know. Wages either. I'm sure Naby's on a decent wage. I'm not getting my hopes up that we might sign anyone. Well, my worry would be, they're definitely looking. We know they're looking. Of course they are. I mean, they even said it publicly last week, so it'll be a bit of egg on the face. But the question is, they're running out of time, aren't they? I mean, it's 11 o'clock on Thursday, September the 1st. I think it just shuts, close. So can they get a deal over the line? John W. Henry was interesting that he was at Anfield the weekend, wasn't it? That was interesting. Maybe they brought the checkbook with him. Maybe, I don't know. Him and Linda were in the crowd, so maybe that's a sign of something. And maybe it isn't. Maybe it was pre-planned months ago. I don't know. But a big thing for me is, look, guys, great win yesterday. Really good confidence boost that we needed. We have a tough one against Newcastle. I think Newcastle have a few injury problems on Wednesday night. But are we going to bring somebody in by Thursday? And somebody that suits, has to be the right player, as Klopp says. Has to be the right player, the right price, the right, you know, situation. And you know, it's not easy. It's not easy to do. Liverpool probably need a winger and a striker. That will be next season, definitely. I think we will get the sorry we tried answer, says Crick T. That's possible. You've got probably 2 or 3 possible answers to that one on 11 o'clock when the window shuts, and deadline day on Sky Sports, and they go straight to outside Anfield, and he goes, well, they tried, they had a chat, it just didn't work, the figures were off, or the medical and stuff like that. And we tried, but it didn't work, type of thing. But I think to be serious about it. But I think if they are that serious about it, I think you really want to be seeing concrete stuff probably tomorrow, definitely within the next 24 hours, 48 hours, because to get it over the line by Thursday with signing players and medicals and stuff like that, you know. But Nunes will be back on Monday. Nunes is back on for the Saturday game against Everton. He misses the Newcastle game. Nunes has been training anyway. He obviously he had a 3 match ban, so there's no problem with his health or anything like that, or with his injuries, because he's training, he's ready to rock. I think Nunes would have had a hat-trick yesterday, wouldn't he, against Bournemouth, of course. But we'll have him back for the derby, which will be a big boost as well, obviously, but he'll miss the Newcastle game. But I'm on about midfield, guys. I mean, really, I'd like that guy, Lamar. Check him out on YouTube. Conrad Lamir, Laimer, of RB Leipzig. He looks a proper player. He really does. Come on, guys, another like for 10 likes. Let's go, baby. Nunes will be fighting for his place after Bobby's performance yesterday. I don't think so. No. I mean, Bobby's another big game Wednesday night, guys. Let's see how good Bobby does. I mean, if Bobby scores a goal or two Wednesday night, I think he starts against Everton. And Nunes comes off the bench for the last 20. I mean, you couldn't drop him, could you? But we'll see. Let's see if we can get two really good games and two goal-scoring games out of Bobby on Newcastle on Wednesday, because we need to put a little run together here, guys. We need to put a little, to get the next 2 wins anyway, Newcastle and the derby, and then there's an international break, and most players will be back by then. That Bournemouth team are very, very poor for relegation fodder at this stage, and they really are. I mean, the minus 14, I think, goals against already after 4 games. I mean, I know 9. Should have been 10, 11. Should have been D record. We equaled the record with United, but it should have been D record. I mean, Salah could have had 2 or 3, definitely 2. I think he scoffed at them. I mean, it's such an unusual result of 9-0 and Salah not scores now. Wow. YouTube can make anyone look good. To be fair, Dave, says John. Yeah, true. I know a bit about this guy, though. Check him, not even on about YouTube. A lot of teams have been looking at him. Bayern have been looking at him, really, over the last year. I mean, he's decent. I mean, YouTube can make you look good and bad at the same time. I mean, Liverpool have scouts in Germany. I'm sure they're not just relying on YouTube, or me, or Twitter, or Instagram, or the TikTok boys. They have their own setup, and they've done us good up to now, haven't they? The transfer committee with the scouts and European scouts and Julian Ward and stuff. So I'm not worried that way. I doubt they're going to buy a player over 2 or 3 YouTube videos and say, right, that's him. He looks good on YouTube. Let's go. No. Crick D. But if you are the Red Bull team, you've got talent. Red Bull gives you wins. Yeah, I mean, they've had some great talent coming up through. RB Leipzig, Red Bull Leipzig, whatever you want to call them. They have a good track record with talent. They have some scouts. Them at Salzburg, I know that they're owned by the same owner, Red Bull, but they're selling clubs, really, though, aren't they? They're selling clubs. But it's just, with a year left on his contract, now, and he's not signing a new contract, Liverpool could come in. Maybe they did yesterday and said, listen, we'll give you 20, 25, or maybe a swap at Naby. I don't know. Said, listen, do you want to do it? Bang, bang, over the phone, personal agreed. Then it's just a matter of him flying in maybe Monday or Tuesday and doing a medical. But who knows? Who knows, guys? Who absolutely knows? And I, for one, don't. But we shall see. We'll find out actually in the next few days. But as I say, if there's going to be a deal done, you'd expect it in the next 24, 48 hours for some concrete name to come out and go, right, I don't know, maybe a Paul Joyce or a James Pearce or even a Fabrizio Romano, who I'm not mad about, but Paul Joyce seems to be him, James Pearce and those type guys. Dave Maddox seems to be the real men that you want to, Melissa Reddy, these are the guys that you want to get the go ahead from, the thumbs up from, and say, okay, this sounds good, this is concrete. Because as I say, there's going to be a lot of videos done between now and Thursday. Some players coming in, going out, probably a lot of clickbait. I've done a few myself, but players that fit the profile, players that fit Liverpool's FSG profile. We know what we want. FSG, Pep Linders, Jurgen Klopp, they know what they want in midfield. They know what they're missing in midfield. It has to be the right player, as Klopp said the other day. It has to be the right player. And who is the right player? It's got to be done by Wednesday for me, if it's going to happen. Exactly, John. I mean, the shut's closed, doesn't it? Thursday night, 1st of September. Bang, deal done. You'll hear a lot of stuff now, especially over the Sunday. Most games are finished, players can talk, agents can talk. A lot of stuff gets done over the weekend that you'd be surprised of. I mean, it's not like it's a normal 9 to 5 Monday to Friday job and everything shuts for the weekend. So players on the phone, agents on the phone, Julian Ward on the phone, hopefully. That type of stuff. Neves, Barella, De Jong are the right players. Yeah, but I can't see any of them coming in quickly, to be fair, because of the money. The money. I could see maybe next year. Neves is the most realistic. Rubenneves. Well, I did a video on him today as well. He said something really funny after the Wolves game, though. Something about let's see what happens. So I'm sure Liverpool have been in contact, but the money, I just maybe a swap deal involved there as well. The money's going to be huge for Neves. So I with FSG, we all know what way it worked. Usually, the 20-25 million guy who's on his last year in his contract is better than the guy coming from a Premier League team to a Premier League team, and you've got that Premier League tax. Nearly double what you should be paying. I mean, what would you pay for Neves? Would it be 60, 50, 60 million? I don't know. He's a great player. It was a great goal today. We have money to spend. If we do have money to spend, but as well as me, or you should know, FSG don't throw it around. You know what I mean? Right player comes along. The likes of Van Dijk came along, big time. He paid huge money. Allison, big time, paid huge money. Diaz was decent money. Nunes, potential record money. Right player, right time, that type of thing. But we're sort of forced into this signing. That's why I don't think, it's sort of an emergency. I'm saying it's an emergency stopgap, but it's moving. I'd say at least a window ahead of ourselves. I'd say they were looking at next January or next summer for the big midfield moves, whereas they to pull it back. Although we have lost 2 or 3 windows. I was talking to Keith Jack the other day. We've definitely lost 2 or 3 windows, and when you lose 2 or 3 windows over the last 3 or 4 years, you're catching up all the time. You know what I mean? You're a window 2 behind, and that's why I think Liverpool will have to do something. I think for a midfielder. Because if they don't, then the next window becomes priority, and the following window somewhere becomes a 2 or 3 player window in midfield. FSG need to stop doing things on the cheap. It's almost as FSG want to pay little. Well, it's a business, unfortunately, isn't it? De Jong is such a good footballer, though. He would suit us down to the ground, says Crickdy. Another one, huge money. Now, the only one I could say, as I said earlier, with De Jong would be I think he wants out as well. Barca want to get rid of him, really. United are in for him. He's on huge wages. It's 400, 350 for. Now, could Liverpool say, listen, we'll take De Jong on a year loan with a potential to buy, an option to buy next year? Take him on the loan. Take him on loan. If it does well, does brilliantly, pay half his wages, so you're cutting the wages in half. Give him his 180 a week or whatever. So everyone's not up in arms. Give him a year on loan contract and see how that goes. That would be the only way I think we could get someone like De Jong in. That would be the only way I think we get De Jong. A loan deal for a year with an option to buy, because they're not going to base 50, 60 million on a Salah wage, on him. I just cannot see it. But that's why I'm veering more towards a Conrad Lamir type guy. A year left in his contract, perfect profile pick, and lowish wages, probably 100 grand a week, and 25 to buy. Liverpool should take De Jong on loan, pay 200,000 there. I just said that, didn't I? But yeah, that's the only way I can see us getting someone like De Jong, Frankie De Jong. Jude Bellingham would be brilliant. Twitter would explode if we did a deal for Bellingham and he came in. But then you have to look at Dortmund. Are they going to lose a Haaland and Bellingham in the same window? I don't think so. Can't see it. Unless we do a deal for Bellingham and that's part of the thing. They do the deal now, but it doesn't come until next year. And they say, right, we can't get the midfielder, but we've tied down Bellingham for next season. A bit like the Naby Keita deal where we signed him, but he didn't play for still the following season, so we had him. Something like that, maybe. I don't know. It's up in the air what will happen this side of 4 days to go in the window. So. But look, guys, it definitely confidence is up from yesterday. That was a ridiculous game. It really, really was. And, things are looking up. There's a lot of doom and gloom around Liverpool in the last 2 or 3 weeks. But, we will be okay. No matter what happens this side of September the 1st, we will be okay. The squad, the manager, staff is just too good. Let's be real. Lamar, who, though, is not the player Klopp is describing to us he wants, De Jong would be, well, maybe. Man United had a deal agreed, 58 million, not really big money. Yeah, I think United had a deal. Yeah, it was big wages though, wasn't it? About 250, 300 a week. Liverpool are sitting down whilst Newcastle Chelsea will sign a player. Get it done, FSG. If they're listening, FSG, get your checkbook out, says Gary. Yeah, but that Rubenneves thing, I seen it on Liverpool Echo. just there before I came here live talking about Ruben Neves saying, let's see. So he's obviously asked the question, well, you know, what's going to happen this side of the window? And he goes, well, let's see. Obviously, someone has said something to his agent, you know. It mightn't even be Liverpool. It could be other teams, you know. It could be United. It could be anybody looking at him. But it is going to be really interesting. I'd rather the window was just shut and the deal was done bang because you're still there. What's going to happen here? You know, and we've a big game Wednesday as well. As you say, we would like the deal done. It'd be nice to bring the new player out onto the pitch. Whether they'd be available or not, I don't think so. But bring him out on the pitch with a scarf on Wednesday, wouldn't it, in front of the home crowd, and have him for the derby. That would be perfect. But Neves on his last year too, says Crick D. I don't know the contract situation with Ruben Neves. Check that out, guys. Let me know. Has he 2 years or 1 year left on his contract? Still be big money though, because I mean, Wolves would be looking to get someone in as well, wouldn't he? Wolves would want to get someone like him in. That's not easy. Not easy right now, you know? It's not easy. But I do like Neves, I have to say. I really do. Neves is interesting, to be honest, as John. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's interesting times, full stop. It's always interesting times. By Wednesday, the deal should be linked, Dave. They signed Nunes. They signed Matis Nunes, Wolves, of course, from Sporting Lisbon. I think Liverpool were interested in him as well. He looks a proper player. He could have had a few goals, though, couldn't he? Should have scored today with the header. But he looks a proper player. Yeah, but do you want to lose Ruben Neves? I mean, they're right down the end there. I mean, they should have won that game today, to be fair, against Newcastle, but only Newcastle got a late 1-1. Maxima scores St. Maxima. But you know, so they're not exactly flying. So for them to lose a Ruben Neves now, no matter who they bring in, you know, so look, who knows? Maybe there's a deal done already. Maybe that was Nunes or Neves' last game. Neto, maybe. But I just think those type players suit Liverpool. They really do. One does think a midfielder is coming, says Gary. Let's hope you're right, Gary Richards. Guys, hit the like, hit the share. We'll stay on for another few minutes. As I say, it's just a nice little chat here, a little half-hour chat about who is coming into Liverpool. Will Liverpool do the business? Will John W. Henry open the checkbook this side of Thursday? As we say, it's Sunday night now. You're expecting. Now, there is 5 or 6 names being thrown around. And it might be none of them. And this might just come out of the blue like a Fabinho on a private jet with a little, you know, a little like cryptic message on Instagram or something on the way to Merseyside or on the way to John Lennon Airport, and this guy just, what did we just sign? You know, that could happen. Neves' contract expires in 2 years, so he's got a 2 year. He's 2 years left on his contract, says Quick D. So a bit more playing around for Wolves there, you would think. If he had a year left, it'd be a different story. But the fact that he has 2 years on his contract makes it a bit trickier, but still not impossible. Alan is in the house. Is Bellingham for sure coming here next season? Absolutely not for sure, no. I mean, Madrid are interested in Bellingham too. And I mean, if it's a straight shootout between Real Madrid and Liverpool, that would be really interesting, wouldn't it? So, I don't know. No, there's no done deal. There's no signed contracts. There's nothing set in stone with Bellingham. I don't think so anyway. Maybe he wants to come back to England. Maybe that's what he wants. Wants to come back home, closer to his family and stuff like that. That's a possibility. But is anything set in stone with Bellingham? No. But it's not to say we won't sign him. You know, it's just not to say we won't sign him. But it's going to be really interesting now, guys. But I'm expecting, and you were expecting, and I'm sure we're all expecting something more concrete, as in a name to focus all our attentions on it, say in the next 24 hours. I'd be surprised if we don't. It's going to be a late it's going to be a late show, and it's going to be a late signing on Thursday, and it's going to come right down to the wire. But whoever we sign won't be available for Newcastle. Even if we signed them tomorrow, I don't think it'd be in time. I mean, mightn't even be available for the Everton game. Who knows? But at least we have Darwin Núñez back for the Everton game. That's a big plus. But as I say, it's going to be interesting. Who do you think, guys? Who do you want? I think out of the 5 names I have in the thumbnail, we've Frankie de Jong there, we've Barella, we've Bellingham, we've Nunes, we've Neves, Ruben Neves in there, Barella. I just, and Lamir, Conrad Lamir. I just think the types of a Conrad Lamir is the most likely, maybe a Ruben Neves as well. I want Neves as LFCDN27. Yeah, well, see the goal today he's got. It was an absolute ripper. Breaking the lines from midfield. Beautiful finish into the corner. You know, Portuguese. I'm sure Pep Linders. We have a big Portuguese connection. in the club. You know, we really do. We have a lot of scouts in Portugal, as we've seen over the last few seasons, especially with Diaz coming in as well, and Darwin. So, you know, Porto and Benfica. I want De Jong or Neves, says John. Neves for me, says Mohammed Khalif. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, as I say, look, we need a midfielder. I think we're going to go for one. The question is, who is it going to be? And as of now, Sunday afternoon, we don't know. We've got little tidbits of who it might be, who we would like it to be, but we don't know who it will be. I'm sure Liverpool and Klopp and Julian Ward are probably the only people that know right now who they've actually been probably on the phone to on Sunday after a Sunday lunch. You know, Klopp's been probably talking to them. Because as you say, what have you got? 4 days? Sunday or Thursday night, 11 p.m. Bang. You know, we got to get moving if we're going to sign someone. Allison, Robertson, VVD, Gomez, Fabinho, Neves, Hendo, Diaz, Nunes, Salah against Everton. Trust me, wow, that would be nice, wouldn't it? There is rumours Bellingham's a gentleman agreement to join us. Such shite they come out with. I don't think a gentleman agreement comes into it at all. But yeah, I know what you mean by that. It's sort of like you meet in a nightclub, you shaking their hand, and it done deal, or on the golf course type of thing. But with you know, the entourage is behind these big players now, and the, you know, the entourage with the agents and stuff. I don't know if those gentlemen agreements really exist, do they? Let's be real, guys. It's all about the Wonga. It's all about the Benjamin Franklins, really, and where the player wants to go or where his heart is set. That's what it's all about when it comes down to. That's what it boils down to. But as I say, we'll be keeping. I'll be keeping an eye. Definitely, the phone will be close in the pocket. I'll be looking for the right people to make the right noises at the right time. The likes of James Pearce, the likes of Paul Joyce, Dave Maddock, Melissa Reddy. You know, even Fabrizio Romano, I suppose. Those type guys to come out and go, Liverpool, you know, because it's okay saying Liverpool are interested. Yes, they've probably a 20-man list to who they're interested in. But who have they actually made phone calls to? Who have representatives maybe flown out to or been in contract talks with? I mean, they've done a great job. Julian Ward was flew out to Salah for that long-term deal. That wasn't, we all we seen was him sign them beside the swimming pool. That was kept quiet. So we can do things in the background without people knowing. We certainly can. We've done it before. We'll do it again. Mohammed says FDJ is on stupid bags of money. His head can't be turned. Frankie de Jong, I presume you're talking about. Yeah, it's huge money. 400 grand, ridiculous. The money only United, probably in City would pay, or maybe Chelsea, but why the hell? I mean, the problem we have with Salah getting 350 a week, you know, the highest paid player ever. I think we're going to bring in a midfielder, you know, with 4 days to go and put him on more money than Salah. No, the only way you get him is a loan deal. And you pay half his wages or something like that. Or Barca pay most of his wages. We pay him some of his wages. And you get him on a loan to buy, you know, for the year. It's the only way I think you get Frankie de Jong in. I could be wrong, but that's the way I see it. Liverpool probably got a list of 20 names. I just said it, Johnny boy. I just said it. Probably even more. You wouldn't know. I'm still surprised we didn't win 11 or 12 yesterday because of Salah's miss. Salah two really, really good chances yesterday. I'm surprised he didn't score at least one of them, you know. But imagine Nunes yesterday would have had an absolute field day. Could have had 3, maybe 4 yesterday. The ball just kept coming into the box. And I hope they do the same thing against Newcastle. It won't be an easier game. It'll be a tougher game against Newcastle. We all know that. But same style of play. In at them at the first few seconds, for 10, 15, 20 seconds, we were at it and we didn't stop till the end. That's what we've got to do again against Newcastle. Anthony for 100 million makes no sense. That's just that's the tax. That's United coming in, a Premier League team coming in, desperate for players. They can just name the price. That's the ridiculousness of it. Makes no sense. No, absolutely ridiculous. He's a good player. Is he worth 100 million? No. Probably 40 or 50? Yes. I mean, look at Grealish. Was he worth 100 million? No. I always said he's a 50 million pound player, and I was right. I didn't see anything today from Newcastle. What worried me for Wednesday? No, not really. They've a lot of injuries. The new guy, Isaac, that they signed from, I think could make his debut. He's a big lad. He's a decent player. He could make his debut on Wednesday. Maxima has an injury. I think he got a bit of an injury near the end. Guimaraes has an injury. So I wouldn't be, well, look, I'm not worried. Newcastle have a great record against them at Anfield, but we still got to play. We still got to turn up. We still got to be, 100% ready to rock and roll. It won't be an easy game. And as I said, tempo right, start, home crowd, early goal helps. That early goal, 2 goals within 6 minutes, 3 and 6, bang, bang, game was over. And that helps us. And that helped us get that big win. That was the foundation of the big win. And we got to do the same Wednesday, guys. The same. And Saturday against Everton. Looks like his hamstring is gone, Dave. Yeah, that'd be a big blow. Huge blow. It might only be a precautionary thing, and we miss the next two games and be back after the international break, or he could be out for a 6-8 week job. 560k is the figure for Frankie de Jong is on a week. Wow, crazy. Almost as much as me. Start how we did against Bournemouth, please. Same intensity. I'm sure Klopp will give the test. Yeah, and high pressure yesterday. Exactly. Let them read Pep Linder's book, Intensity. And I think they did read it probably on Friday because it was certainly back. 2-0 to Tottenham. 2-0 to Tottenham away to Forest. Good win if they can get that. They missed the penalty as well, Kane. Who scored, I don't know. But Kane got the first one. But yeah, Spurs are decent. I mean, tough place to go. City ground, Forest, but 2-0 up. Looks like that game is in the bag for them. It's going to be a tougher league. I mean, United will get better. Did a jammy win yesterday, to be fair. City, 2-0 down, came back 4-2. Hat-trick, Haaland. Haaland's going to be thereabouts for the Golden Boot. We said at the start of the season. I mean, Liverpool are going to be thereabouts as well. We get all our players back, ready to roll. You've Arsenal there on top of the league, doing well. Haven't really played anybody yet of significance, top six. Let's see how they do when that happens. But everybody's getting stronger. Everybody's getting tighter. It's going to be an interesting time. Kane again, mate. Wow, 2 for Kane. I think I have him as captain this weekend, but he missed a penalty. Could have had a hat-trick, which would have been nice. There's probably a few minutes left in that game, but 2-0 Kane. He does score goals, doesn't he? He absolutely does score goals. And Spurs will be dangerous enough. Barca are silly to pay de Jong that money. He is smart to take it, Dave, says Gary. Well, anybody be smart to pay 560 a week, for fuck's sake. It is ridiculous money. Absolutely ridiculous. Will Elliott be out for the Newcastle game? No. The Elliott news, as far as I know, is just precautionary. His nanny died last week, so he was emotionally drained anyway. You seen him crying in the interview at full time. So it was only a precaution, as far as I know, and we were 5-0 up, so why risk anything? I think Elliott's okay. Thank God. I think Elliott should be okay. I think we could put 3 or 4 past Newcastle. Let's relax, my friend. Let's relax. Let's just win them. I take 1-0 now. They're so desperate to be relative again that they're just throwing money without any structure. That Anthony lad is a showboater, won't be allowed to time in the Premier League, doesn't have the IQ to adapt either, says Quick D. No, he's a good player, but he's not worth 100 million. There's just no doubt about it, as you say. They know United will sign the check. How much do you want from him? How much do you want? Do you want 80? Do you want 100? 100? We'll give you 100. Go on. So that's not the way FSG do it. It's not the way Liverpool. And rightly so. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous way to do it, really. The players have worth, but he's not worth 100 million, Absolutely not. But guys, I'm going to go now in a minute. Enjoy your Sunday afternoon. The big thing we started talking about was who will Liverpool sign? Who will Liverpool sign in the window? It should slam shut on September the 4th, which is Thursday at 11 p.m. We're going to get a move on. I'm sure we are getting a move on if we're going to bring someone in. Rubenneves has been floated about. I think the likes of Frankie de Jong and Jude Bellingham, I can't see it. Konrad Lemaire from Leipzig is a possibility with a year left on his contract. Wouldn't be huge money. Barella, Italy, big money again. Can't see it. So, or else maybe it's just somebody on the blind side. It's a curveball that comes in to John Lennon Airport and we go, where did that one come from? That's a possibility too. But let's just get somebody in the back door and get them in soon. Facts, Dave, I'd take 1-0 all day. Absolutely. Clean sheet was good yesterday as well. Let's not give Trippier be good. I think we will have an answer in the morning. Yes, next 24 hours I think are huge for potential midfield incomings at Liverpool. All eyes will be on Twitter. All eyes will be on the counts that we know. Count. The likes of Paul Joyce, James Pearce, these guys. Let's keep our eyes out. Let's hope and dream somebody comes in. Talk to you soon, guys. Big game on Wednesday. Liverpool-Newcastle. It's at Anfield, so I think it's Liverpool-Newcastle. It's at Anfield. We 2 games in a row at Anfield, which is huge. Let's win that. Let's get a player in by Thursday. Let's get our players back from injury. Let's get ready to rock and roll. We're in a good place. Stay safe. Talk soon. This means more. The question is, will Liverpool have a player in by Thursday? I'm hoping.